Hi, my name's Lee Valentine, and this is a must-watch video for anyone wanting to improve their technique whilst doing press-ups. With any exercise, there are correct ways and incorrect ways of performing the movement. So it's very important that we start at a basic level, and as we go in confidence and competence with the movement, we progress to the level. So to start with here, this is actually an incorrect way of performing the press up. I also feel it's important to understand the muscles or the parts of the body we're trying to focus on when we're doing any exercise. Now, it's a common misconception that when we do press-ups, we're primarily working the muscles of the chest, so the pectorals. We're actually working mainly through the back of the arm, so the triceps muscle, because we're working through more arm extension, which I'll go through in a bit more detail in a moment. But first, just check out the first video of the press up, which is what we call a box press up, where the knees are underneath the hips. So this is a slightly easier variation because I have a little bit more load in my legs with my hips over my knees in the start position, which means I have a little bit less load going through my shoulders, the backs of my arms, and the muscles of the chest. Now I want to keep my elbows over the wrists, so I make sure I lean forward and in line with the chest as I'm going down into the movement. So that's the basic option of a press-up. If you wanted to regress it further, you could do it from an inclined position. So maybe you've got your hands on the wall or hands on a chair or a stair or something that's going to give you an incline to take off a little bit more load still. Now the second level would be a press-up on the knees with a forward lean. And as you can see with this variation, I'm leaning forward a little bit more, so there's less load going into my legs, so therefore more load going into my upper body. The upper body is still in the same position. My shoulders are still pressing down my back, my elbows are still over my wrists and in line with the chest. I also want to make sure I keep great back and neck alignment as well, so I keep my eyes down on the floor. And then once you've progressed in these two areas, the final level would be to come up onto the toes. So when we're starting out on our press-up journey, this is the option we all aspire to, the press-up on the toes. Now keeping everything we just talked about intact, so shoulders down the back, leaning forward, elbows and wrists in line with the chest. Now we want to really focus on bracing through the core as well. So drawing the navel into the spine to connect all those muscles to help support the lower back, which you would do with the previous two options, but even more so with this one. Now we're in that full, long, strong plank position. Now, if you do struggle to go from knees to toes, there is actually a kind of an in-between level. If you take your feet wider, as shown in this next video, so changing nothing else apart from the foot position, and you can choose how wide you take your feet. The wider you take your feet, the more stable you're going to be held, therefore the easier the exercise will become. Okay, so they are the press-ups. Just a quick bit of basic anatomy and physiology that you might need to know for the press-up. So with your hands on the floor, think about dropping the shoulders down the back, corkscrew the shoulders out, and that's going to help engage those wings down the side of your back, known as your lats. Now this is the movement we're trying to look for here. This is called horizontal adduction, and this is what the pectoralis major muscle does, which is the main muscle of the chest. But like I said, mainly we're working through triceps, and this is why, because the main movement we go through during a press-up is arm extension from the elbow, and that comes from the triceps muscle. So there it is, the press-up, a great overall upper body strength training exercise. Now for the latest tips, tricks, waffle and workouts, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, I'm Lee Valentine. See you soon.